Number nine. Number nine. So you got your emergency fund. Now it's time to start saving, right? Actually keeping this money together. If you're coming from a place of debt, you're coming from a place of financial lack, it can, and you have a risk adverse personality, yeah, that too, it can be really difficult to invest your money. You feel like, oh, you've been in debt this whole while, now you have some money, let me just keep this money in the bank where I know it's safe. It can be really scary to invest your money. But what is important to note is that keeping money in the bank is not saving your money, because the banks, at least in America, they give you very, very low interest rates, right? Like point something. Let's say you do a high yield savings account, that could give you, I think it's about 4% now for a high yield savings account. But back to number nine, which is invest. I know it can be scary, and you're like, oh, keeping money accounts is saving your money, but not really, because these bank accounts are paying almost nothing as interest rates, and inflation keeps going. So you're actually losing the value of your money by keeping it in the bank. So it's important to keep your money in a vehicle that at least tracks with the market at the very least. And I'm not here to tell you what to invest in, but I would just say personally, when it comes to investing in all these personalized things, like this person is telling you, oh, come, I have this, come and invest in this, or I have this business, come and invest in this. I mean, different strokes for different folks, but I personally feel that the bulk of your investment should be like a standard investment kind of thing, like stocks, bonds, mutual funds, that kind of thing. And even within the stocks, bonds, mutual funds space, personally, I feel like unless you're a person who full-time job is to analyze stocks, I feel like you don't really have business putting your hard-earned money into individual stocks and all of that, because you just don't have enough time to analyze the pros and cons of it, right? I know some people get lucky and really hit it with these individual stocks, but when you're talking about the core of your savings that you want to grow over time, that is, I feel that is best put in like your for your retirement plan, your 401k plan, like brokerage accounts, individual brokerage accounts where you're buying your stocks and all of that. And the stocks you will be buying there, because I did say, oh, you don't want to be buying individual stocks and trying and be checking every day, is it going up, is it going down? So in this sense, getting an investing in ETFs makes a lot of sense, because they are for the most part 0% like commission. You don't have to pay the brokerage for it, and it encompasses a suite of a type of stock. Like you would have an energy ETF fund, you would have a real estate ETF fund, you would have a total stock market ETF fund. So yeah, for example, the total markets ETF fund by Vanguard, which is VTI and BTSAX, it tracks the market, and over time it has shown to always go up, right? So if you are confident that the US economy in the long run would always go up, then maybe for you that feels like a safer bet. But always, as with all things, it depends on your risk tolerance. Some people are like, oh no, that's too low of an interest rate, I can invest in Tesla and make 1,000% in a couple of years, I just need to find the next Tesla. I personally don't feel like that is the the best vehicle to carry your retirement funds. I feel something safer and something more safe and consistent, like an ETF, investing in the total stock market makes more sense. Someone also told me that there are some ETFs that they are growth ETFs, but they also like there's a cap to how much they can drop if the market drops, so they're like inflation protected or something like that. So there are so many different types, but these are generally speaking a more safe bet for people that are risk averse. And even within your 401k plans, there's typically always the one that tracks the total markets, which you know, a lot of people do encourage people that are not stockbrokers or actively tracking the stock market just invest in these broad stocks, because at the very least, you will match whatever the market is saying, and this is your hard-earned money you're trying to grow. But of course, stock market is not the only way to grow your money. You can invest. You can invest in real estate. You can invest in anything. But whatever you invest in, do your research, okay, to make sure that this is something that matches your risk tolerance and something that makes sense, not something crazy, not something that will bankrupt you. You know what I mean?